All right. So RK is probably the best ones to look at if the growth is working or not. So if you look at this one, this could be inverted head and shoulders, or in other words, the left base and now the right base is forming. So I have this 123.60 as a range, and if this breaks the final one, I mean, for me the growth has a confirmation if this 131 is taken out and it starts moving higher. Also, if you look at this, the, this there is not a lot of volume here. I mean, there is enough but not a lot. But right here in this range you have way too much volume. What does that mean? It means that anybody who bought in this area, they want to get out. I mean, anybody who bought it here, they want to get out as soon as their price is met. They don't want to see any losses anymore, because that's how everybody thinks, that they don't want to take any losses. And if they have been waiting for a while, if it comes here, so that's why whenever you have this overhead resistance, that's why I say breakouts are better to get in. So I am waiting for this 131 to be taken out. But the good thing is the right side of the base is forming. And when this one is taken out, which is 123.60, that's my first bullish indicator. And when this 131 is taken out, that means that, the growth stocks are in full bullish mode. And if you look at Tesla, right? Tesla is one of the biggest in that one, in RK. And look at that. I have been saying this for weeks, that I want this 700 level to be taken. That happened today. Okay, so I mean, Tesla is doing better than RK. So that's what I'm looking at right now. And if you look at this, right, I mean, for this whole move, we had a 50% correction. Okay, almost 50% correction, which makes a lot of sense for this one to bounce off of here. But we will only get the confirmation if it breaks above this 131 level. So that's what I'm thinking right now. And one of the easier ways to figure out whether to get into a stock or not is by their earnings. So I mean, I was out of Square for a while, but this breakout was good, but it did not sustain. It came down. But today it started moving higher. It broke this downtrend. So above this level, you have how many days? 1-2 days, that's it. So you have no overhead resistance. As soon as this breaks above this 282 level or 280 level, this thing is going much higher. That's why I got out of my options, which actually worked very well. I did not expect. I bought for 24 and sold for 33 or so. So I mean, I did not expect it to work so well. That's why I got into options, because I did not want to put a lot of money into it until I get this confirmation. Once I got the confirmation, I got out of the options and I got into, and I want to hold this one for a very long time. Again, until it works. So this one, 33 to 2, that's 800% maybe. When you have such a big move, this consolidation is very good. So now, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for earnings and the reaction to the earnings. I mean, if you look in the pre-market, Square wasn't doing good, and I did not like it. But as soon as market opened, it started moving higher. So that's when I got it. So let's look at the rest of them, the ones that have given results. Nvidia hasn't, Tesla did, but again, we went to Tesla already. So we had 1 day down after Tesla earnings, then started moving higher. So that looks pretty good. Nvidia, we didn't have the earnings yet, but
Tesla, what do you suggest, KP? I think you sold your options also, right?
yeah, it was a short-term one. I mean, I wasn't sure. See, we made 60% on it. So, or 55 to 60%. So, and the one only reason Tesla today, the price action was really good. However, the market was really weak today. That's why I sold it. Why lose that 60% whatever we made? I'm still in stock. I mean, I got into stock on Friday, some 695 or so. I'm still in stock.
Do you suggest any credit spreads expiring this week or next week?
I think we already have a credit spread 570, 540 that I sold last week, which expires this week. So I don't know. I want to see how it works here. If it stays above this 700 level tomorrow, then next week I would want to, buy 630 and probably sell something lower, probably 630, 600, or we'll see how much credit we would get. But if I am selling,
Leap? What about Leap's call?
I mean, okay. For Leaps, right? Okay. Tell me which one you want to buy. Maybe that will.
Tesla.
What's your target?
Tesla, like a January 22.
January what?
22. Like Jan 22, yeah.
So is this like a stock replacement, or I mean, you don't want to buy stock and just buy?
Okay. Yeah, just buy the option, I guess.
I think probably. Hold on, let's see. 630. How is 630? Looks good, I guess. One way to do this is one way to do this is buying a diagonal.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to suggest is you buy in the money and you sell probably how is 790. So the next resistance is a 790, right? So
right.
Let's see if we can find how is next week 790. It's only $4. Okay. How much is this one? $630 is $140. Wow. Anyway, so the idea is you buy something like with a delta 70 and you sell every week where there is a resistance. So you would probably buy Jan 22 630 and probably sell 13. $790. So I mean you're only getting $4 here, but the idea is you sell the 790s until it hits 790. Okay. And even if you make $4 every week, I think that should be pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I want to keep that 630 call. I think eventually it might hit 8,000, right, by end of this year.
800.
by end of this year, the goal is only 800.
Where did the 8,000 come up?
No. I'm thinking Tesla might hit like 900. At least it might hit new highs, right? It may.
Well, we cannot trade based on what is okay. We are going to adjust it. I mean, that's how I trade. I mean,
Uh-huh.
we can only adjust based on how it's trading. What happens? Okay, if you think about it's going to, let's say, $1,000, right?
Okay.
What would you do if it goes below 630? So, I mean,
Yeah.
the best way
Okay.
the best way to trade is to, take one day at a time and see how the
Okay.
price is doing.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason you sell the diagonal is because the theta, what is the theta here? It's 59, right?
Mhm.
And how much is it in 630? You want a positive theta. That's what you want. So that, I mean, even if stock does not move anywhere, you wouldn't lose anything. So you have a positive theta. Here it's only minus 27. There it's
Okay.
minus 50. So the time value, I mean, don't lose any premium with the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you the question in another way. I think you know. So suppose now if you want to sell say one put at like say deep out of the money, I mean just like even though it doesn't go there, for example, whatever the maximum is available.
Yep.
And at the support, I mean at the bottom say 630 wherever it is, and then you buy a protection put. So I mean, suppose I don't know. I mean, if the stock goes by the end of year or next year, like 1,000 or 1,200, nobody knows. For example, correct?
Yep.
Now you have the full say like a delta, almost like close to one, since you have put like very deep after the money. 1:1 you correct it. But in worst case, if it falls, but anyway, then you have the protection put correct at the support level.
I got confused. What do you? Okay, let's assume.
One second. Let me finish. Sorry.
Yep,
I
go
know.
ahead.
Yeah. So this will cost about 140,000, right? If I want to do 10 contracts.
Yes, it does.
Okay. And then every week I'll get about $4,000, right? More or
Yep.
less.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and already it's in the money, so I'm already like 70,000, right? If it's even at 700, right?
Yep.
So break even would be sometime, like considering I get $4, I mean 4,000. So it would take 3 months.
To break even.
Yeah, what I spend.
Time, you it's hard to figure out what time it is, but you can always figure out. Hold on, let me do it again. So you're buying 630 and selling 790. Let's see. So where's the break even? Hold on. Supposed to show, so it's not showing that. Oh, that's because it's a, well, I mean, because it's a diagonal, it is unable to figure out the break even, but
Okay.
yeah, hold on. So your break even is 776 for now. Okay, so you need to make that 76 minus 10, which is $66. So that's about 15 weeks or 16 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, just we are assuming that Tesla is not going to move and you're going to sell that for $4 every week.
Okay.
But you don't, I don't think you have 15 weeks here. But.
So should I buy even higher than Jan? Maybe
Generally, I mean,
yeah.
again, I don't have a lot of experience doing these leaps. for me, as long as it works, that's it. The only reason I buy, today, even for Square, the reason I bought October is because I wanted enough time for it to work
Mhm.
and not worry about it like right away. So, I mean, test it out and see how it works out. For me, I mean, I'm okay just buying stock right now because Tesla is already a very volatile stock. So if it drops 5-6%, you lose a lot of money. I mean, always think in terms of risk than reward. I mean,
Yeah. No, actually, I think I was looking at the chart. It might touch 685 if market drops for any reason, right? So
it
the
could go.
next,
No, I mean, it could go
might.
all the way to 630. That's where the support is,
Okay.
not 685. I mean, if you look at that, right, that's where the 50-day is where it bounced off thrice. So it could come all the way to 50-day, which is around 642 right now. Yep.
Yeah, see, I think when you like posted Friday, I was looking at it. I thought it will cost 10,000 for, I mean, even for 10 contracts. I was thinking about it, and then market closed. I did not get the opportunity. I was about to buy. I think that would have been a good buy, right? So it's yeah. I was just thinking.
Well, there was some news overnight which I posted about Li Auto, where they had a record number of deliveries. I think that might have triggered this move for everything else too. So I mean,
Yeah.
we
So
had good
another thing
move.
also, they announced some AI day, correct?
Yeah, yeah. See, that's why. Yeah, they announced AI Day on August 19th. That's why I was, I think, looking at August 20th calls. So yeah, they were a bit higher, much higher than August 13th. But anyway, either one would have worked. I didn't pull the trigger. It's my bad.
Well, I mean, it's not like we are not going to get trades. I mean, there are trades all the time. I'm trying to avoid trades right now in this market. This is not a great market. I mean, the follow throughs have been really hard in this market. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Okay. I
So
also followed you on Textron. I think you got that right. I got,
yep,
but I
yep.
can't pull it.
I'm still in it. I'm still in it. I mean, I was looking for this breakout and it did. It actually broke out of this level too. So I thought it was gonna move higher. This is what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
this could take a while for to just move higher, but I'm gonna wait for it. And if it breaks below the 67 level, that's where I'm gonna get out.
Okay.
So that's where I am right now with Textron. But I mean, this is a nice base and it broke out. Okay, next. And we are done with that. Shopify. I'm going to go to this list.
Okay.
These are some of the stocks that are looking really good. Nice cup handle, but this is not a great handle, but in this market, this looks amazing. So it went higher after the earnings. It started moving lower, but it still is staying above that 1500 level, which is the breakout level. So this still looks good. AMD. There's nothing to say about AMD. This was the pivot. It broke out here, and it also broke above this level. So I mean, this could go all the way to 125. Applied Materials. This one I got in on Friday. I was looking at this pivot, and it broke above that. I mean, it came down, but it stayed above the 50-day, and today it started moving higher. Now it has also broken the downtrend line. So this looks good. See, for me, semi is doing better is the best indication, because I mean, this is like a new commodity for anything technology. If semis are doing good, it means the growth is coming back. I think I've said it way too many times so far. Square, we talked about it. Today's volume is like 500% of the average volume. So I mean, we could probably see this move much higher. Snap. It broke this level and it is still staying. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is all accumulation, I think. Snap looks amazing. I have half a position in this one. Actually, I trimmed when this broke down, but it could move sideways. And if it breaks above 600, I said I'll add more. But I mean, this is a good base. Today, because of, I mean, this has been an amazing stock so far. Among financial, this is probably the best one among the banks. And in the investment side, I think Morgan Stanley is doing better. But today, TNX, the 10-year went down a lot. Because of that, I believe, the capital one came down. Actually, many financials were unable to, stick to the highs.
Can you check Master and Visa once?
Yes, I will. So write it down. Actually, I think that could also, the Master and Visa card moving lower could also be an impact of what Square is doing, the buy now, pay later company acquisition. Let's Twilio. This one, I still have it. I bought it when this broke above this consolidation, but it came down. I'm still holding it. This is what my this would be my stop point below this level. So far, it is staying above the 50-day moving average. The results were good, but I didn't see any pop because of the results, but it did not break down either.
So 360 is the line in the sand.
Yep. Or even the 50 days good too, I think. DocuSign. It broke out, still staying here, but this is probably a good one among the growth stocks. After such a big move, it is still moving sideways to higher. So that has a lot of strength. CrowdStrike, same thing, much like DocuSign. FT&T is the best one. I mean, they had earnings and today it moved up more than 5% at some point. But this has been a steady climber. I missed it and I missed it. That's it. It hasn't been giving any major pullbacks to even get in. Roku, I think we have earnings this week. So we'll see how the earnings, how it does with the earnings. Align, I got into this one on breakout. It still looks amazing. Today is the third day and 800 is the target, another 100 points to go. And then it consolidated for a while. So yeah, the move should be much, much higher. And the earnings were really, really good. They were expecting $2.30, it gave $3. So the earnings were amazing. PDD, I'm still waiting for the results on this one. When I said 8, 9, I think it's next week. So still looks okay. But 80, 50 is, well, I'm gonna hold into earnings. But I have only, I think, 1/3 position or so. This one, Palo Alto Networks, this has been doing very good. Never broke this trend line, even though some of the, growth stocks did break, these trend lines, but this one never did. So yeah, we have earnings on 820, so it might move sideways until earnings. But I'm in this one still. I've been saying, talking about Net forever. I mean, it's probably the best one right now. Oops. Now, this is the breakout level, right? And it came down. I mean, this is where my stop would be. So it came down, and again it went higher. So this is the kind of action which is a little harder to sustain. So I'm still in this one, but 573 is the line in the sand for this one. But so far this looks good. We have earnings day after tomorrow. We'll see how it does. Bill has been a good one. These are the stocks I like and I own right now. Oh, this entire list which I posted. Nice cup, and the handle is on the high side, which is better than having a handle here, and it never came into this range again. So I like Bell, and we already covered Textron. We'll see how this one would go. All right, let's look at Baba. Well, I added Baba and Tencent because they are the two biggest companies in China. So I don't know how long this would take to resolve the problems that we are or the news with the Chinese government right now. But the one good thing about this one is it's back to, what is that, 2019 levels. So 1, 2, 3 years is almost, it erased 3 years of move. So I would think this is probably very cheap right now. And let's look at DHI. DHI actually looks okay.
KP, I just missed the last 2 minutes. I know that was mine. Okay, can you repeat what you said about
Baba?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is, I mean, this is all, I mean, this is into 2019 levels right now, right? So 3 years of move has been erased, which has to tell us that this is very, very cheap. If nothing major happens with the Chinese news, this is an amazing buy. That's why I bought Baba and Tencent half position each. But if it breaks this 231 level, I'll probably add more for Baba. And 170 is probably the low, the stop for me.
Okay, thank you.
NetEase, actually, I posted this before. NetEase had the best chart and it bounced the most. I posted this on, I think I commented on my last post too. I mean, this 82.93, I mean, everything else, if you look at it, every other Chinese chart, Chinese company chart, this is probably that went down the lowest in terms of percentage. And this is still it just only went down to the November lows. Everything else went down to, I don't know, I mean, last year lows, which is the pandemic lows. So I don't know much about Momo. It's an idea. This is this also
Can you
Chinese
check
one?
Pinterest?
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll write it down. Wow, this looks much like Baba. Actually, this looks worse than Baba and everything. This peaked in 2018. Yeah, that does not look very good. I mean, this has nothing to do with
What's Momo?
I have no idea. Hold on. Hold on.
I think Baba invested like some 1 billion in Momo or something like that.
Chinese provider of mobile-based social networking platform. But it's a very small stock. That could be also one of the reasons it's on. The PE is only 7 right now. Let me share this. The PE for Momo is only 7. and the market cap is 2.6 billion. It's a very, very, very small stock. And the volume looks horrible.
Yeah, only 100 million users, 113 million active users.
Yeah, I mean, the chart does not look good at all, even in weekly or, it went all the way to its IPO slow. So yeah, this doesn't look good. SMH. SMH, it hit a new high, so it broke out. I think this is, as I said before, this is probably the best indicator for our growth stocks. If SMH keeps moving higher, that would be amazing for all the growth stocks. Let's look at Bitcoin instead of GBTC. So Bitcoin has to break above that 42,730 level. Until it breaks above that 42,730, this is still in a range. I mean, this could come back to 29,000 again. That's how the ranges work. It goes there, comes back, and it goes there and it comes back. That's how ranges work. So we don't know if until this breaks that 42,000 level, this is still in a range. That's why I didn't make any purchases so far in any of the cryptos. And then Bitcoin had the best bounce so far. Actually Ether did, I think. Sorry, Ether has to break above that 3,000 level. So what else? MasterCard, yeah. Again, this could be because of that, what the Square, there is a lot of talk about this is where the future is. The company, the buy now pay later company that they bought, Square bought, that could be the future. And if that gets traction, people may not be using credit cards anymore. So that could hamper the growth for MasterCard and Visa. Again, one day does not mean anything. I would probably wait for a few days to figure out if that's true or not. If the market realizes that it's a one day thing or a couple of days thing, the MasterCard and Visa will probably go to new highs. Yeah, pins again. This is the best example to figure out if you should buy something or not. I mean, look at the earnings; it got crushed, and again, the chart has never been good in this year for pins. It moves lower and it goes higher. I mean, anytime if you have a stop limit, it is going to get triggered. So let's look at this. This is something I've seen this year a lot. Is watching the volume is helping me, not BPST, upward. This one, when it went up, look at the days before this breakout. Not a lot of volume. All these days, not a lot of volume. Okay, and it broke down with a really heavy volume. Let's look at pins. I mean, it's not giving any indication of there is an accumulation for the stock at all. So far, obviously, pins doesn't look good at all. Snap is probably the best one so far, which has bounced. It has been in this range for a while. It broke out. It is staying right there. I would think, and while on every red day, look at how the volume is drawing down.
Yeah, I agree with you. Fundamentally, not many people use pins. I mean, a lot of accounts are unused, right? That's what they said. Like quarter of the accounts never logged in or not using.
Again, Pins is relatively new company. I mean, when compared to, Facebook and everything, they don't have such a big presence yet. But what happened is when iOS came up with a new software, everybody thought that that would give a big boost for Pinterest, but obviously it did not as much as everybody expected it to. Well, that's all I have for now. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll go through other charts that you want, the ones that you own, or anything that you are thinking of owning. I was talking about this one. This one actually looks very good. Some of the healthcare companies are looking really, really good, especially medical devices companies like ISRG. This one looks really good, and I'm looking for a pullback. If I don't know if there will be any or not, or maybe this is it. We'll see. And the other one is DHR.
Can you look at Melly?
Yes, I will. DHR is another one. This has been an absolutely amazing stock. Yeah, I mean, I had an alert right here. If it breaks above, and obviously it came out, and I posted the alert, and it came down. So I mean, this is, if you think about it, it is actually forming the right side of the space. Okay, and break above this high, which is 40, let's say 1650, is probably, we'll see a lot of buyers coming in, but we have to see it close about 1650. Oh, what did I do? So yeah, 16. But I mean, the price action is really good. I mean, it went to the resistance and it came back to this, what's that, 20-day. So it's pretty good. But I would wait until it breaks above the 1650, and we'll probably see a much higher move from there. This looks much similar to RK. Obviously, Melly looks better than this one. Anything else? I'm going to stop recording.